Where in history did we lose our voice? Well, every decade is a renaissance of oppression, teeming with vermin who bite us back, fight us back, lose sight of the vision we had previously envisioned. But forceful hijab as an act is not forgivable. Claim it was ordained by a religion that preaches against coercive matters. But why call it the morality police when everything they do is immoral? Every death sentence for independence states that they do not have a voice, and so I fight on behalf of them, aching for liberty in a country, that allies with persecution, no substitutions for lives lost to aggression, graves filled with women that have looked to the world for power and aid and sharing stories, and so the actions behind country borders does not go unseen, hidden in between cut off internet access and voices silenced to avoid scrutiny. They are struggling under the weight of a regime that endangers lives in the name of faith. But tell me why we should hold faith when this is a wraith that we do not want to have. If we are complicit in the instance of constraint, we will end up waging war on our own people, standing tall in our privilege while they falter at the hands of cowards. We have the freedom to choose, but they only have a choice to fight for their freedom, sacrifice their lives by showing their hair while surrounded by people willing to pull the trigger. It is easy to stand down, but they need us to stand up, taller than we have ever stood up before, scream until the earth shakes, until the women after us can breathe, without their voices being stolen by hands that are undeserving of their name. Thank you. Little Miss just wants a love she does not have to beg for. Little Miss has a big heart that others cannot dream of having. Little Miss, people pleaser. Little Miss gives too much without expecting anything in return. Little Miss in love with the way the moon shines a little brighter on her darker days. Little Miss in love with the array of colours in the sunset. Little Miss hidden yet open simultaneously. Little Miss wants a life that she does not have to fight for. Little Miss done fighting. Little Miss not afraid to be vulnerable. Little Miss cannot stop herself from telling her life story to everyone she meets. Little Miss thinks making jokes about her own trauma is therapy. Little Miss sits on her windowsill at 3 a.m. to look at the stars. Little Miss, my love language is just all of them. Little Miss tells her private story. Oh my god, guys, guess what happened at work today? Even though they don't really care. Little Miss romanticizes basic interactions. Little Miss love letters and dancing in the rain. Little Miss sensitive but acts like she is not. Little Miss overthinker. Little Miss perfectionist to the point where one wrong move leads to a life full of stress. Little Miss falls for a crush and lets it crush her. That's a bit embarrassing. Little Miss writes poetry about every minor inconvenience. Little Miss sets herself on fire to keep others warm. Little Miss gets hate and uses it to her strength. Little Miss love how stretch marks resemble lightning bolts on the surface of her skin. Little Miss normalizing conversations. Little Miss in search for her true self. Little Miss taking back the body that has been violated. Little Miss fuck the patriarchy. Little Miss knows that she will be okay one day. Little Miss knows she could change the world if given the chance to. Thank you. I ponder over the thought of astral projection, desiring for this phantom of a body to trespass amongst the brightest stars in the galaxy. Covered in meat they cannot help but feed on, but if I traverse the tectonic plates, let my body rest from the fatigue it is burdened with, I sense that my mind still remains awake. Astral projection is an out-of-body experience that I ache for once in a while. Time out of this body to salvage this control. Fragments of this truth transcend beyond what this body can hold, but truth be told, I am protecting my peace. Wish to leave this body for just one day, maybe then space will soak up the thoughts like a wet sponge that I do not squeeze out. They do not understand what it feels like to consider astral projection to escape the weight that this body keeps as inventory that does not sell, but if one day astral projection calls my name. If my pseudonym rests on their tongue as if stubborn candy floss that refuses to melt, do not watch me transcend into the universe and call me the brightest star in the sky when I am barely human most days. I am part fire, part wolf, part waterfall, part survivor, and so it is not hard to believe why sometimes my body does not feel like mine. And so if I leave it for a short while, I will become an incorruptible fortress of energy that they cannot touch again. Built a wall between me and them with my bare hands. I don't know how to let my guard down. I am Tyson, no fury. I am Jon Snow without his sword, cold, no war. And so if they attempt to debilitate me, I surrender. raise the white flag, my body limpens and I become permeable. Let their destruction soak into my skin, but if I take up their offer of astral projection, they can kill my body, but they can never kill my soul. Thank you.